Private Living, Rio de Janeiro, 29 January 2023, was supposed to return on February, but we are kind of here. As you can observe, we received something kind of gift, and this is the chair by my side. It's empty until I put my feet on it. We will have some issues here, quite simple, quite clear. We are kind of operating the physiological review of something, and a mirror. So we will have this issue. First thing that we have in mind, the number of violations generally presented by the same group as offenders perpetrated this systematic in a conscious way, very intentional, but if it's a crime, criminal intent. The accusation come from the violation of an industrial project. It can be inside a portfolio or something independent, but it's an industrial project when you violate it, when you do the entrance as physical and analogically or by the cyberspace, instead of be concerned with your homeland security, which is a mess ruled by criminals and only doing things by criminal purpose. And the criminal offenders associated with, in general, had this range of activity based on corruption, criminal association, transnational organized crime, functionality of corruption, but things in a way very strange, violating rights, guarantees as individual, companies, moral entities, or even national, state, and international community when they request information based on guarantee, Article 5, number 33, and you are unable to present. And instead of this, you sustain your life. And we have that your life sustained against the international community sets corruption in an international level by peers associated with, confirmed by Budget, international events 2007 at least, but in my opinion since 1992 with ECO 92, environment speech. Biohazard weapons of mass destruction even covered by financial activity, setting the misery or the vulnerability under management to put people in general on the domain of a criminal purpose, or being starving, or dying by disease, consumed, affected when you have the pirates looking for the first accusation, or the fake money as counterfeit activity directly not only USA but at the Interpol in the same way. This is the outlook of your behavior. Rats. Criminal offender in Brazil and peers related with, confirmed by Budget. Please take a look on our blog. The risk, by the way, I was doing the monitoring procedure some years. Am I looking good? Kind of model for something. The purpose is delivery, the action indeed is ongoing. So we will take a look on the risk report 2023, 3 January, blogspot.com. We will check there the risk analysis. And this risk analysis, of course, is about the January, considering things we are doing since 2014 at least in the international community. And it's almost 10 years. Of course, that if you are, for instance, the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the United States defensive system, you had an idea about who am I and what I do. And of course that I can call you as Uncle Poor or Uncle Pooh, see, as a friend. So we will have something here. It's the judicial payroll legally charged for conviction of you all. I don't like for sure you all. US invasive follow-up, if you did maybe, violating my basic rights, for instance, and guarantees in Brazil, you are kind of perpetrating the same behavior as the Brazilian institution related with charged by the systematic, by the way, intent, according to the Chicago School, not aleatory. And violating judicial secrecy and industrial secrets. If you are supposed to know all those issues, you for sure shouldn't do the violation even as an American agency, department, or officer. But if you did, you will suffer the charge, and then the big charge, and 1 billion. We will divide half for each case as economic espionage and harassment. Harassment considering that you did this in a continuous way and changing my behavior. For instance, can I have a masturbation at my own private room? Can I go out and invite a girl out doing this? Can I have a chat at the internet or website with a girlfriend or someone that I would like to have as girlfriend? No. So I have to change my behavior by then stalkmate, and in some areas the NT is perpetrated the harassment and the charge against the harassment. Are you at this point, USA, as department, if you did this? The economic espionage, for sure you did, because it's inside this environment, it's vive, it's analogical, email, whatever. If you did this and you have no idea about the issues, why the other America chair, for instance, have the entire notion about all things and you didn't? Because you are not part of the solution. So you are at the problem, and then you will be charged as a problem. And 1 billion divided on $500 million for harassment, $500 million for economic espionage, 1.5 billion in each case, under the judicial analysis of the USA, which isn't described by the Constitution as an integrated fail like Brazil. If you did this isolated, as your intent at the department in the United States, you'll be charged like this. If you are associated with Brazil, it's something much better maybe for you. Because the Brazil has the constitutional talk about the integrated fail. If you did the association with the integrated fail under investigation and the intent as finalist, yours is to achieve the leadership of this criminal organization in Brazil. You must be reliable. And we have the holographic business model is Cgqm. For sure, the chair doing the control, if it's a serious chair, you can lie. It's a new plea bargain, and it's suggested to be at this trial with all of you. There, because you are a liar, mostly you all. Then we will check that if you are associated with the offenders and your intent indeed was to advance it inside the investigation and got or caught the chair with the domain of circumstance, considering the judicial system, appears as international, transnational organized crime on budget, and you did this, we will observe that your finalism indeed, as your action was caught the criminals in the heat of the moment, and for sure you did. The other thing we will have in mind is something at the other side, which is if you have this kind of invitation to do this as your American department by the offender as a system which is integrated, described by Constitution, considering the foreigners on it, especially confirmed by budget or the budget in the way I like, you will check that it's forcing the conflict of interest, something that go on all the time. It was complained all the time in many ways. Because the confusion is an institution on civil law Brazil, when you are kind of have yourself the qualities as the debitor and the creditor, you kind of have the forgive or something. If you put this as the America have the right to receive the compensation and have this as a an offender, of course that you have the confusion. But the America isn't like Brazil presented as integrated control. America will separate and do what they audit do as a professional thing. Will interrupt the process, as for instance, the abusive investigation made by the US Department against my private space having this. We interrupt the department, audit the department, have the chairs on it, and the America has no association with, especially told by the American Constitution. Doing this bring the stability to the purposes but you are on jail. And to ensure the stability and operating not only by the American preamble, but as academic, my friend Buffalo Bill and my friend, old ancient Belcher, we will use the Brazilian Constitution, Article 1, Item 4, which is my free will. The Article 5, guarantee number 9, which is the freedom of thoughts. And 13 at this moment, which is the way I will apply this as a financial service, or creditor relation, or administration of your concerns. And as academic effort, in the way I can have my thoughts freely, Article 5, guarantee number 9, we will use the academic theory of Germany 3 writings. The first one, Klaus Hoxton, domain of circumstance, to have this association and push the confusion between the offender as something that looks isolated, doing this as American Department, Klaus Hoxton, who had this domain to invite the American Department to do the same behavior as quality and equally qualified with Brazil. That is described as an integrated failure. Second theory, Hans Wessel, the finalism of your action. The finalism of your action in USA, and it must be true, honest, was advanced at the criminal organization integrated in Brazil by Budget as Transcontinental Association, especially observed on FIFA, global companies, Olympics, others, especially provided. Then we had the finalism of your action as USA. In the same way, we have the finalism of your action in Brazil and the domain of circumstance by those actions as fraudulent, which is push the confusion and try to put the credit down. White collar crime, by association, corruption, always integrated the department, always organized crime by the institutional division of power as organogram. You have lines, you have columns. Then the stop rep indeed now is cut. And we will use the theory of Germany, number 3, Otto Backhoff, which is you can, for instance, do not apply a constitutional rule if this kind of will set a big mess. It's observed on the Nazi period, the Weimar Constitution, and they had this theory. Sometimes the constitutional rule will be absurd, and then you kind of will not apply this, for instance, for major interest, major purpose like peace, tranquility of mankind, or whatever. And you will not apply the law which is inferior than the Constitution, the law against the American Department, for instance, then you will forgive maybe this charge as 1 billion. But will present this charge to the judge, have this declaration. And the judge will declare that you will not apply the law despite recognize the case as harassment. But we can do the same at the offender at source as behavior. And it's confirmed by the law 12.350, Article 1, 2, and 3 in Brazil. It's named ação controlada, or controlled action, to have the criminal sometimes do the association with the drug dealer or the prostitution or the model or whatever to get the criminal organization dismantled. And we are doing this with the Brazil. Unfortunately, the public department, you take a look there, all the histories are at the blog. We suspended some posts And the other thing, when I was doing the monitoring procedure, I observed that some arts kind of have a huge talent on yoga, things that stretch. I decide to do things, I will stretch my finger. See, same talent. Have a nice weekend, a nice week. We will move with our model maybe on February or maybe in the next 5 minutes.